Hello everybody, whether you are a beginner to kettlebells or pretty advanced learning to get good at the really complicated stuff, mastering the kettlebell swing is where it's at. This is the staple and the core to all things kettlebells that so many moves are built up off. If you want to get phenomenal at burning fat really effectively with kettlebells, well, we got to do it in a safe way, okay? I do want to talk about the kettlebell swing and the top 5 mistakes most people make that I see. And the one thing I want you to know when you watch the kettlebell swing, I have a lot of people who say, either they tell me their age or they tell me how out of the gym they've been for so long. And I want to make a point that my clients range from 30s to mid 70s, many of which who haven't touched the gym in 5, 10 or more years, okay? And in 10 minutes, roughly, I can get somebody who has not been working out to swing safely and effectively. And then usually it takes about 2 to 4 sessions to really get it, or workouts to really get the move down in a safe way. The one big caveat is if you have any pain or limitations, you want to check with a doctor or a PT and make sure that you are cleared for that kind of exercise. And 2 is just that you are focusing on good form and not working out, not using it when you're tired. I always tell people if the back feels sore or tired with swings, we have to stop that day and get it the next time and keep working on form until it comes along, and eventually your stamina will be there. So the top 5 mistakes. Number 1 is our stance. So the stance is really just wider than our hips. So you want to draw a line from your hips straight down, and you want to be just outside of that. Now, it shouldn't look anything exaggerated and pointed out like that, and it also should never look like I'm standing with my legs completely under me. I'm never going to have the room to get the kettlebell through, and with this, I'm going to use too much of my butt and not enough of my legs. That sweet spot is just outside of the hips. So that's stance problem number 1. When you go too wide, which is what most people do, you're gonna try to squat, which is what we're gonna talk about. That's probably the biggest one we're gonna talk about. Next one, and this is a safety issue, is eyes never go down. Whether you're picking up groceries, a child, a kettlebell, anything, your eyes never go down, because wherever your eyes go, your spine follows. So if you wanna hurt yourself picking up your kids or groceries, try to look at the floor and bend your spine. If you want to be safe forever, you don't necessarily have to not look and be like this, but you want to learn how to keep your head and your spine essentially like that, okay? So when I swing, I want you to first, if you've got a mirror, it's even better because you're just going to look at your own eyes the whole time. I want you to pick a spot on the horizon about straight ahead or maybe at the far wall on the floor. And don't look up or down from that. Keep your eyes fixed through the whole motion. So when I get to the bottom of the swing, my eyes are on that, and it's going to keep my spine tall. This is the enemy of the spine. It hates that. It doesn't want that. It wants this. And so that's what we drill. Before you pick a weight up, we drill the proper form and the eyes up. And you want to make sure that every time you come down and come up, that you don't do one of these numbers and drop the head. Number 3, and it's probably the most important one, because this is where the power and the safety comes from. A lot of trainers are out here teaching the swing wrong. They didn't learn it correctly, and they're out teaching people because they read an article. The kettlebell swing is not a squat. The kettlebell swing is not a squat. If you know the 2 big leg moves, it's called a squat, that's a squat, and a hip hinge or a deadlift. A hip hinge or a deadlift, the knees barely bend, and the hips bend a lot. So my hips, as you can see, are about 90 degrees. My knees are not bending much. That's what a kettlebell swing is. It's a deadlift, folks. So with a deadlift, I'm ending up here with a lot of hip bend and very little knee bend. So you should not be squatting. And when most people, this is probably the most common thing I fix with people, especially when they learn kettlebells ahead of time, is we gotta get you to stop doing this, chest up, butt down. See that? And we wanna start getting you to do this. So here's how you fix the chest. Here's how you fix the squat, is you focus on, take your sternum and push it to the floor, or take your belly and push it through your knees. One of those 2 cues works amazingly well for people. I used to tell, so you're gonna take your sternum and you're gonna push it to the chest, to the floor. And remember our eye clue, we want our eyes up. Okay, so I want you to practice shoulder width stance, eyes up, and I want you to push your chest to the floor. Now, if I ask you a very important question, there's one right answer. Where do you feel this? The answer, and the only right answer, is in your hamstrings. If you feel that in your low back, something's wrong. If you feel it in your quads, something's wrong. So keep focusing before we even pick a kettlebell up on eyes, stance, and chest to the floor, okay? When you get that feeling of it pulling the hamstring, that is a good thing. That's what we're supposed to be working, your hamstring and our booty. That's what's driving the kettlebell. So the mistake is people squat, right? They try to squat, and the correction is chest to the floor. Now, some people I say push your chest to the floor. Some people I say push your belly through your knees. So essentially drop, really push my gut through my knees, okay? And this will also go hand in hand with the next one, which is people who pick up the bell with their arms. People who sort of come through the motion, and I see them doing this number, and their hands are coming up. That's because they're generating power from the wrong place. So if you find yourself with your hands up above the kettlebell, it's a clue we're not snapping our hips far enough, and usually it's because we're not getting to this nice deep position, okay? So the third one was squatting. We're gonna fix that by chest to the floor. The fourth one is picking our hands up. Once you've gotten your chest to the floor in this motion, chest to the floor, now we wanna focus on pop with the hips. And when I say pop, I mean imagine your tailbone is, you're tucking it very aggressively, squeezing your butt, tucking your tailbone. That's where the power comes from. That's where the high heart rate comes on, and that's how you're gonna burn fat and firm up that booty. Okay, so chest to floor, eyes up, and then pop by tucking the tailbone very, very quickly. This move will transform your athleticism, make you a fat burning machine in no time, okay? So I'm gonna show it correctly in motion, eyes up. I hike it right high to the crotch, and then pop, chest, pop, chest, pop, chest, pop. That is your properly done kettlebell swing. So if you saw my form every time, I got my stance, I got my eyes, I push the chest to the floor, and I aggressively snap. That's the hardest thing to teach new people is the pop. Give yourself a couple weeks till that comes. Start with a weight that's light, that's reasonable, 15 to 20 pounds is where I start all my beginners, even my 70-year-old beginners, 15 to 20 pounds. The last one is the two most dangerous things for the spine with anything is bending this way or going, I don't even want to show it because I used to have back problems before kettlebells, going past parallel. So imagine if you are in a plank, imagine I'm in a plank down on the floor and I drop my belly because my core is tired and weak. This is going to get pinched here. And pinching the spine together, the little facets of the vertebrae, they hate that. So when I'm through the kettlebell swing, I want to be boom, tight butt, tight belly, boom, nice and tight and tall, like we're holding a plank, tall. What I don't want to do is go ugh, and like chuck my gut out in the air. So the way to fix this one, almost every single time somebody's extending, is they aren't coming far enough down, they're coming to like here, and so they feel like, oh God, I don't have enough power, so they go, ugh, and they try to overextend. The cure for this is the same as the cure for the squat. Get the chest to the floor. If you come to here and you snap, boom, your body goes, oh, I got enough power, I don't need to like overdo the thing, all right? So that's the top 5 mistakes. Stance, eyes, squatting, picking up with the arms, or overextending with the spine. I want you to learn kettlebell swing safely to troubleshoot these mistakes, and if you ever have trouble, go to Breakthrough 39. It's our private Facebook group for all people interested in health and fitness. I run a great group with fun and interactive people where I can really help. If you want to post a video there, I can leave a comment about what I see, good or bad, from your swing, and usually fix things pretty quickly, okay, folks? Thanks so much. Check you next time.